Stop being afraid of change and just flow with it. Change, after all, is the only constant thing in life. Have you heard that before? Whether it's a new job, a breakup, a big move, or just life shifting in ways you didn't see coming. Change is never easy, but it's often the doorway to your next level. Let's be real, guys. Change is so uncomfortable. It messes with your routine. It challenges your control. It forces you to face the unknown. But what if the thing you are resisting is exactly what's meant to grow you? What if you're tired of holding on to that thing that is familiar at the expense of what is actually possible? Today, I want to say it's time to lean in, let go, and evolve. So let's talk about how to embrace the change without losing yourself. That's one thing that I was very scared about, losing myself. And I learned that change is inevitable. Even your body is changing, whether you like it or not. This is not how I was when I was 1 month old. Change is uncomfortable, but it's also the force that drives growth. So we've got to embrace it rather than resist it. And that's just truth. How much longer would you avoid the changes that would elevate your life is the question I want to ask you today. How much longer? Whether you like it or not, your cells are changing. Your body is changing. Your skin, everything is changing. Either changing for the better or changing for the worse. Because all change is change. Is what it is. All of us are evolving, but not everybody is transforming. But evolving, we are. Because life is moving us in different ways and spaces, in different towns, in different jobs, in different relationships. We're constantly shifting. We're constantly moving. We're constantly changing. My question is, what are you changing into? Are you changing, living what is convenient and following what is necessary? Or are you changing from where you are into a comfort zone that is not going to help you, whether you like it or not? But what are the things that you have put a pause on or you have lost at just because you refuse to take up the mantle of change and elevate your life? And the change I'm talking about really is transformation. You partaking in your growth process actively, right? Maybe it's your job. Maybe you need to change jobs. Maybe you really hate where you are, but you're doing it just because. I had this job, this project I was doing at a point. I worked in an organization where we produced Big Brother. And at the beginning when I did it, it was fun, it was cool. I was younger, I was just getting into the industry professionally. This was maybe like my second or third job, but my first big job, let me call it that. So it was fun, but I started to change. So by the next time I did Big Brother, it was miles apart, years apart. And something in me had changed. Something in me had shifted. And the thrill that I had when I started, I didn't have that thrill anymore. In fact, it started to make me feel a little bit depressed. Because when the kids, I used to call them kids, when they'll come for auditions, the things that they would say just made me know that we had a moral decadence. We didn't even know how bad it was until you listen to these people who came for auditions and the stories they told you of things that they were getting up to. Even the ones that sort of looked innocent. Sometimes you just say, this person looks, but when that person opens their mouth to speak, to tell you, and then you can't have emotion on your face. Someone just says, I killed my mother. You're like, okay, tell me more. Emotionless. That thing messed with me so badly. By the time I was doing the next one, I had even changed further. I was more sensitive to it. More sensitive. And it messed with me so much that at some point I got fired from the job. I did. Now I thought that I was set up in different ways. But later when I really sat down to think about it, I set myself up because I was grumbling internally. I needed to change the job. But rather than doing that, I stayed there because the money was coming in and I needed that job at that time anyways because I had nothing else going on well for me. Nothing in my life was working. So I held on to this job with my entire life, but grumbled about the job internally until it was taken away from me. And then I had to face myself squarely. I knew I had to change the job, but I didn't. What are you stopping yourself from doing today because of change? Because of the fear of the unknown? One of the things that I learned from that experience, and I'm so grateful it happened. Initially, I was so sad and depressed and out. But when my life started to change, once again, let's use that word, I was so grateful I was fired from that job, because it gave me the permission to become the person that I am today. And it taught me the power of flexibility. It taught me the power of flexibility. Flexibility is essential to navigating change. You just know that, okay, I want to do this, but okay, is this now? Let's go there. Life won't always unfold exactly as I planned, I learned. But your ability to adjust will determine your success. Oh, I had to adjust. And I'm still adjusting, by the way. I was very comfortable in another job for the last, couple of years, until I felt like there was a need to adjust again. Change. I didn't plan it. It happened. I'm like, okay, let's go with it. But I've mastered the art of flexibility. I've mastered the art of adaptability. I've mastered the art of not being tied to the end goal. Even if that's the dream that I have, I'm not in control of how I get there. The how is none of my business. The how is God's business. So I'm flexible. Use me, God, in every way, any way. I might not like this particular way that you have done it, but it's okay, because I know that everything works together for my good. And that's how I talk to myself all the time, guys. The way I'm saying it to you, that's the way I talk to myself. I don't like it, God. Father, I don't like it. But I trust you 1,000%. I trust you. So is that the way we're going? Let's go there. I thought we were going this way, but it's not there anymore. Let's go, because my life I'm living it for you and for your benefit and for your work. So every morning I say, God, how do you want to use me today? Not give me rice or give me beans. No. How do you want to use me today? How do I need to show up today to bless people? How do you want to use me today? So I'm flexible, very flexible, because in your flexibility, growth happens. And then in your transitioning with your flexibility, the growth that you're looking for shows up. And I know that transitioning can feel uncertain. When you transition from death to somewhere else, it's uncertain for everybody, because we don't know where we're going to. But that's where real transformation takes place, the transitioning. So don't resist change today. Use it as your opportunity to grow. Jeff Bezos, we all know him, the Amazon guy. He started Amazon in a garage and navigated countless changes to transform his business into a global empire. He embraced the chaos and used it to build something extraordinary. I hear Samsung started as a shop or store or something. It wasn't even a phone. They moved. I hear that story. He started selling groceries. That's what they used to sell. And what is Samsung doing today? Telephones. Electronics, let's call it electronics, because they do televisions and all of that as well. But that's who Samsung is today, from groceries. Let me use another story that some of us know. Adam. God created Adam. When Adam came into this world, he was already a grown-up man. He was a grown-up man. He was given a wife. Everything was given to him. And so he failed because he didn't go through any process to achieving or becoming or doing any of the things that God gave to him. Everything was given to him. He didn't have the process to, or the ability to hold on to it and do anything with it. And that's why what happened to him happened. And then when God brought Jesus, what happened? Jesus came as a baby and he went through a process. He came as a baby, was born in one of the most horrible places. He went through a process. It took him 30 years to become. He was a carpenter. He knew how to fend for. He did everything and went through the process, went through change, went through everything, and got to a point where God then says, now it's time for you to go into the world. So if God could change his process, who the hell are you? If God realized, went back to the drawing board and saw that this thing that I did, we need to tweak it a little bit and let's create this person now so that that person does better and has the capacity, the ability, gone through the, flexibility. Remember, Jesus said, if this cup can pass me by, but your will be done. It was that entire process that got him to that point where he could say those words. If God could change his plans, who are you? So we've got to change today, and change for the better. Choose life. The Bible says, in your tongue I've put life and death. Choose life. Choose transformation. Partake in the process of the growth that is happening in your life. Take a decision and create a strategy to go with it. Create a strategy, because the strategy is important. It shows you the efficient and effective way to achieve what you want to achieve in the shortest period of time with the least resources. So you need it. So my affirmation for you today is, I embrace change and I use it as a stepping stone towards greater things. I embrace change and use it as a stepping stone towards greater things. And one action step for you today is, I want you to identify one area of your life where change is happening and choose to embrace it rather than resist it. Now, that embracing it might be really tough on you alone if you haven't got anybody in your circle to help you through it. I stretch out my hands to you. Take my hands and allow me be the person that walks through this journey with you. Send me a message today and just say, I need to talk. I will send you a link so that you can share with us and we can help you. And I also have a book that transformed you, that will give you practical steps and guides to embracing change and becoming flexible and knowing what to do in that time, how to calibrate and align yourself on the within so that your results show up on the without. Okay? My name is Adela Kingsley James and I love you. Mwah. Love and light.